Let's also talk to you about some other stories that we're tracking. The centre has filed a response over pleas challenging the Citizenship Amendment Act, the CAA, urging the Supreme Court to dismiss the pleas. Now, CNN News18 has accessed the affidavit, which states that it does not encourage illegal migration, as it is a focus law which grants citizenship only to members of 6 specified communities who came on or before the 31st of December 2014. It also vehemently defended the exclusion of certain northeastern states from the application of the CAA, saying it has been done to protect the ethnic linguistic rights of natives and this was not discriminatory. The court will hear a batch of more than 200 petitions challenging the controversial law. So that's the big update that's coming in as far as the centre, which has filed a response over pleas challenging the CAA, urging the Supreme Court to now dismiss the plea. As I pointed out, we here at CNN News18 has also accessed the affidavit, and this states that it does not encourage illegal migration. My colleague Ananya Bhatnagar has been tracking all these developments for us. Ananya, could you give us the fine print as far as this affidavit is concerned?
Well, definitely. This is a very, very crucial affidavit that has come in from the central government at this point of time, because remember that this affidavit states that the CAA is a benign legislation, which clearly means that it does not affect anybody and it's not a harmful legislation. True. Secondly, what has been said is that this particular legislation, the CAA amendment that was brought in 2019, and we also saw a lot of protests taking place, which also resulted in a lot of violence, is actually nothing to do with the Assam Accord. Is a very, very important statement that's been made by the central government, because it clearly goes on to say that this legislation is not harming any kind of citizenship, any kind of Assam Accord, or any kind of a stature or structure of the state of Assam per se. In fact, a very, very important point that has also been raised in this particular affidavit that has been filed by the central government is that the power in this particular law remains with the parliament, and there is no scope of judicial review. That is, courts cannot actually intervene into this particular case, because this is the whole and sole right of the parliament, and it is the part of the parliament and the union government about the granting of citizenship, and that's the reason why the courts cannot intervene into the same. In fact, it has also questioned the locus of the various petitioners. In fact, remember that 200 plus petitions have been filed before in fact, the Supreme Court challenging the CAA, particularly with regards to Assam. Almost 50 petitions have been filed, and this is a response to, in fact, the issue of particularly pertaining to the state of Assam, wherein 3 major submissions have been made. One, that it's a benign legislation, does not harm anybody. Secondly, it does not tamper or disrupt the Assam Accord, which is basically dealing with the whole state of Assam. And the last point is that the courts cannot actually intervene into this particular area, and that's the reason why a judicial review is not possible into this case. Now, the Supreme Court actually heard this matter. A bench headed by Justice U. Lalit was hearing this matter and has now placed it for hearing on December 6th, and it would be placed before another bench, because remember that Justice Lalit is retiring on November 8th, and the new CJI designate, that is Justice Divai Chandrachud, would be taking over as the 50th Chief Justice of India. Vedima.
Correct. And that's exactly what I wanted to quickly understand. What was the bench that was hearing this plea, and what do we know about the next date?
Well, the matter would now be heard on December 6th. The bench is headed by, currently it's being heard by a bench, 3 judges bench, in fact, headed by Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Chief Justice of India currently, and the matter would now be going before another bench, which we would get to know on December 6th as to before which bench this matter is placed. Particularly, we would be seeing most probably, and as per our understanding, it would be going before the next Chief Justice of India, that is Mr. Divai Chandrachud. The matter would now go before him, but we'll still have to wait for the Supreme Court list to be out in order to make any kind of confirmations on this. But then the matter would definitely be heard on December 6th.
December 6th is the next date that we're hearing as far as this case is concerned. Ananya, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Shifting focus.